So the question of today is what makes a good mortgage lender? Unfortunately, we're not all created equal. In fact, if you end up with a mortgage lender that doesn't have your best interest at heart, it could end up costing you thousands, sabotaging your chances of getting your offer accepted, or worst of all, just ruining your home buying experience. So today we are going to dive into some of the red flags you should be on the lookout for when you're looking for a mortgage lender. I'm Clark Spalding, your mortgage superman. Let's go. Red flag number one to be on the lookout for is if the lender is only pushing one option on you. Nowadays, it's more important than ever to make sure that you have multiple options available to you, and you've got to have a lender that can be flexible in case something arises during a transaction that might force you to switch from option number one to option number two. And if you're working with a lender that doesn't have those options available to you, it can end up costing you a deal on your dream home. For instance, let's say you're under contract to buy the home of your dreams, but an emergency comes up. Your car breaks down, your kids get sick, whatever it is, and you have to spend part of the money that you saved up for your down payment to now take care of this emergency. If you've been working with the lender that doesn't have a down payment assistance option that they can flip you to, now you're in hot water. This could cause you to have to scramble to find another lender or back out of the deal entirely, which could end up costing you a lot of money. Let's say you've already paid for an appraisal and an inspection, or you might not get your earnest money deposit back. So when you're looking for a good lender, make sure they have multiple options in case some of these scenarios pop up, and make sure they're presenting them to you at the beginning. Now, red flag number two is unclear communication. Now, I know that is a broad topic, but I want to boil it down to not being able to take the complex topics of real estate and mortgages and break it down into simple terms. There are a lot of industry terms that don't belong in a casual conversation. So if you're working with a lender and during the conversation they're throwing out big words or industry terminology that you have no clue what they mean, and they're not willing to break it down for you, red flag. And to expand on that, this will be a two for one. They should have the patience to break that down for you when you have questions. If they don't, and it seems like they're rushing you, again, red flag. So make sure you're working with a mortgage lender who has the ability and the patience to break down all of the terminology and all of the process that goes along with buying a home, mortgages, refinances, whatever it may be. And red flag number three, not communicating potential problems that either might come up or have come up. Most loans go off without a hitch. Most loan files are pretty simple, but there are times where there may be problems that come up down the road. And if you have an experienced and competent loan originator, they should be able to prepare you for these. Let's say, for instance, you have a large deposit in your bank account from when you sold your car to your best friend. A good loan officer should be able to prepare you for the fact that you're going to need a letter of explanation and probably a bill of sale. A bad loan officer wouldn't catch it until the underwriters do, and now everybody's panicking. Now, on top of being able to look forward at problems that might come up, they also shouldn't shy away from problems when they do come up. I've heard quite a few horror stories of mortgage officers that stick their head in the sand instead of communicating whenever issues come up and letting their borrower and their realtor partners know, hey, we've got this issue to work out. Because 9 times out of 10, it's a simple problem that if it was communicated to everybody on the team, the borrower and the realtor and the loan officer and their team, then it would be an easy fix. But people get scared when problems come up and they panic, and that causes everyone else to panic too. So when you're working with your lender, be sure to ask them, do they see any problems that may come up down the line? How will they handle problems when they do come up? Let's roll into number four, my favorite, not calling on your behalf to the selling realtor. When you're putting in an offer on a home, there are likely to be other offers coming in as well. A great lender will call the selling realtor on your behalf and advocate for the fact that you are a great client. And this can oftentimes be the deciding factor in a real estate decision. So if your lender is not willing to call on your behalf and advocate for you to that selling realtor, run. And number five, the most important one, are they a true advisor to you? This is important on so many levels, and it kind of goes back to the communication that I was talking about earlier. But expanding beyond that, a true advisor is always going to have your best interest at heart. Now, what do I mean by that? A common scenario I see come up so often that I believe truly separates an advisor from just a regular loan originator is that you just might not be ready to be approved yet. A true mortgage advisor will take the time to sit with you and break down the process and break down what you need to make happen so that you can be approved. Create a roadmap so that you know what steps you need to take to get you to where you can buy a home. A true advisor will also take those three options that we talked about earlier, break each one down for you, help you decide which one is going to be the best fit for your life. A true advisor really encompasses everything that I've already talked about in this video. They will be patient with you. They will guide you through every step of the way. They will answer all your questions. They will help you regardless of whether you're ready or not. And they'll be your lender for life. And so keep these red flags in mind. Don't let a bad mortgage advisor ruin your real estate experience. I hope you found this helpful. Drop me a like down below and a comment. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'm Clark Spalding, your mortgage superman. See you next time.